great to be here with you. Today we are gonna speak English.
Oh my God, it's a little bit different, okay? Hi, how are you?
How are you, the ones who are watching us in English? And then we have some Brazilian educators listening to us in Portuguese. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And we are super excited and glad to be officially launching the Eduprotocols in Brazil. This is a very special day. We've been working in this project, Samara, for a year.
And it's finally available in Portuguese for all Brazilian educators and Portuguese-speaking educators around the world. That's right, Carla?
Yes, of course.
Oh my
It's
God.
not only Brazil, right?
Yes.
We can go to Mozambique, we can go to Portugal, many Portuguese-speaking countries that we can go with the Eduprotocols that are now in Portuguese. Today, we have the pleasure to have John with us. Marlena, let's pray.
She's coming.
Yes. And they are the authors of the Eduprotocols books, and they will be here with us. So, welcome, John. I know that you wanted to be here face to face with us here in Brazil. I know that you are passionate about barbecue, but...
Carne,
isso! That's great.
barbacoa, carnitas.
Barbacoa, yes. We have here in Brasilia barbacoa.
Yeah.
But there is
I've heard of it.
something better than barbacoa. There is my husband who is from the south of Brazil and knows how to do the perfect Brazilian barbecue. So we are waiting for you here in Brazil.
I'm so ready. And do you have picanha as well? Because that's another favorite.
Picanha, yes, I know. Picanha.
He knows everything.
I love the meat.
That's
And I
fantastic.
love your opening music. I need to get that. Can you send that to me?
Oh yes, I'll send that to you. It's with Diego. Okay, I'll do it.
Super
okay,
happy.
John, but we are here for a very special reason. It's like the launch of Eduprotocols in Brazil in Portuguese.
Yeah.
But before we start, I want to know more about you, your educational background. Why did you start that? And how did you start systematizing the Eduprotocols? And how did you guys meet and decide to have these books? Now you have many.
Okay, so I'm trying to speak
Yeah.
not too fast for our translator because I get very excited.
Yeah. Me too.
So feel free to slow me down. I had been teaching for about 2 or 3 years. And in 1999, I said to myself, I don't think I can do this for 20 more years. I'm not going to make it to retirement. And so I started really looking at marketing. My bachelor's degree is actually in advertising. And I looked at manufacturing principles. And I looked at my coaching background. I coached American football at the university level. And I started to swirl all of those together. And I said, wait a minute. The textbook is not working. And the worksheet is not working. And me standing in the front of the room talking to kids is not working. So I started taking all of those different things and taking the best of pedagogy. So think SAMR, TPAC, all those kinds of things, and making entirely new ways to engage your students and make sure that technology was in it right from the beginning. So it wasn't like add-on technology. And then as far as Marlena and I got a job as her boss. So I'll always be a little higher than her. And we worked together for about 2 years in Mariposa County, which is named after the butterflies.
It's a Portuguese word, mariposa.
Mariposa. So, and that also has Yosemite National Park in it. And so Marlena and I said to each other, when we retire, or if we win the lottery and quit teaching, everything we know will have disappeared. Right when we retire, poof. So we decided to take our brains and make a series of what we now call Eduprotocols. And we decided to figure out how to make those so easy to use that teachers worldwide would want to use them.
So what you're telling me is that I think there are two main things here. First, taking lecture out of the equation, like not the...
Well, and I would change that. It's not that it's out. You're still going to do direct instruction. But it's when and how much. That's what changes.
Perfect. I love that. So, of course, we are going to have lecture, but reduce that and have more time for students to produce.
Right.
Yeah. And, well, also the fact that you wanted to leave a legacy in education. Is that it?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we discovered some things that really, really worked. So for your teacher friends that may not know what protocols are, imagine you doing your vocabulary or your science vocabulary or your Latin Roman roots. And at the end of the week, the class average is 95%.
Wow.
So if you don't have that, that's something people are really interested in.
So then you were talking about one of the Eduprotocols, because the Eduprotocols, they are routines, like class routines, learning routines, really. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then, John...
We call them lesson frames. If you have a frame that you love, you can change the picture every once in a while, but you already have the frame.
In fact, you have a lovely frame on your back there, yes, because it's a beautiful day in California. It's amazing. So then with those frames, which are the Eduprotocols, one that I know that you feel it is an entry point is the Fast and Curious, for example, yes? Which is one that you were talking about, like that you can level up the game of vocabulary practice, for example, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about the idea of the Fast and Curious?
So the way that started for me was I got tired of doing all this work, and then every week the same kids would get A's and the other kids would get C's. And we did the work, but nobody seemed to get better. So what we started doing for the cumulative final was we took the test every day with feedback immediately. And then I noticed that by Friday, the class average was like 90%. And I went, wait a minute. Why don't I just do this all the time? And then in the meantime, we've had tools like Quizlet, Quizzes, Kahoot, GimKit, Blookit, which now makes me go, oh my gosh, I don't even need to make the test anymore. I can go steal somebody else's Latin roots quiz. And basically the idea of the Fast and Curious is give the kids a quiz, no direct instruction. The computer scores it for them immediately. And computers are great at this. And then we look at it and say, oh my gosh, this one, you guys did not do as well on, so let me coach you. And then here's the wrinkle. We immediately take the test again. And routinely, that score will jump up 15 to 20 points immediately for the whole class. And then we do the same thing tomorrow. And we do the same thing the next day. And by about the fourth day, the class average is running about 92 to 93%. And here's the double bonus. I don't have anything to correct. I don't have a stack of worksheets. I don't have hundreds of PDF emails. We're doing all that in real time. And kids are really growing, which also grows their confidence. They believe in themselves. And then that makes them think I'm a good teacher, which never hurts.
That's great. So what I can see from the Eduprotocols is that they first the fact that we have repetition. So it's a framework, and we have repetition, and then the kids can build up like whatever they are studying. We are talking about vocabulary. but it could also be, a concept or anything that we could imagine. Yes, equations maybe,
Right.
I don't know.
And it doesn't matter what grade level.
Uh-huh.
So this can work in second grade all the way through college.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Carla, if you have students that don't understand their math facts, their times tables, they will actually beg you to play this game more.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do one more? Because they think they're getting better. And that fast feedback changes the way their brain approaches the work. So
then-
imagine teaching third or fourth grade. In one classroom, we have 40% of the kids that can do their multiplication. Right next door, we have a class where 95% can do it. Which teacher is going to have a better year?
Yes. And
Carla,
and
just a minute.
Yes.
Just a minute. Because Carla speaks faster than
She's very
John.
chatty.
Yeah, can you see? She breathe, Carla, breathe.
Yes, I'll breathe, yes.
Okay.
Poor Zé Guilherme, yes.
And our Portuguese link, people are making some questions, okay? But
Oh,
you're gonna-
already? They're asking questions.
They want to know
Wow.
everything.
We love questions.
Oh my God, yes, Samara.
Yes, okay,
So,
okay, but wait, we have a 1 minute difference, okay, between the English.
There is a delay.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
there is a delay between the English link and the Portuguese link, but you need to breathe, Carla, okay?
I'm breathing.
That's all right for you? Okay, they had a little bit problem in the beginning, okay, but now it's okay.
Okay, perfect. Now, John, there is one question Helena has that is really amazing. Helena Galvão, she's a wonderful teacher. She was my student some time ago.
Oh, that's great.
Now she's an amazing teacher coordinator. She works at a very nice school that I used to work at. Now, she's asking is it exactly the same test, or do you change the platform, the questions, or anything else when we are talking about the Fast and Curious protocol?
So here's a great answer. Yes and no.
Works fine for me.
So if you've ever played soccer, does practice look about the same every day?
No.
Of course not.
Not exactly the same, but it's similar. We have the same drills every day. So I will give the kids the same quiz 2 times a day for about 3 or 4 days. But on Wednesday, we can have a Freyer model version, which we call Word Up Wednesday. And whatever 3 or 4 or 5 words the kids are struggling with, they can build a collaborative Freyer model together to push in on the ones they're struggling with.
So
great-
then what John is telling us, Elena and everybody who is listening to us, is that we have a framework, but there is flexibility, just like John. He's a flexible guy, yeah? So there is flexibility, and also we can spice it up with some other Eduprotocols in between those quizzes, Elena. And then you'll get the ebook if you haven't already. And then there he mentioned the Freyer model. And for Zé Guilherme, who is translating, it's Freyer in Portuguese. There is no translation. We kept the same word.
Worldwide Freyer.
Yes, we kept the Freyer word there. So we are going to keep, we are going to have the quiz. And we also, Elena, we are going to see which words the kids are struggling for. We are talking about vocabulary, but it could be any other concept, okay? So
Right. If it was the times tables, let's say they're having trouble with 6 times 8. We're going to do an array in a Freyer for that one and clean that mess up, and then go right back to the same reps and prove they know it.
So,
Great.
yes, it depends on what the students are scoring and the learning gap you see there. So that's where you are going to change the next day, where you see the kids need more practice, more drilling. Yeah? So that's the beauty of the Fast and Curious, which is like an entry point, right, for the Eduprotocols model.
We even call the Fast and Curious kind of a proto protocol because it doesn't really have the creativity and critical thinking that will come with all the others. But it buys a lot of time for teachers. They don't have to do the stacks of correcting and worksheets, and the kids get the feedback. So then we can jump to thin slides and level up the skill level.
Oh, he's another one now.
Yes. Relax. We are going to talk and show you what he means by thin slides. But before we move on to the thin slides, because I think it's a great practical example that we can give to you today as a present for you, I wanted to know why Eduprotocols in Brazil and in Portuguese, John, besides the barbecue.
Besides the barbecue. Well, my teaching starts from a place of empathy. I didn't like school myself. And so when I became a teacher, I realized that a lot of human hours every day worldwide are wasted on listening to lectures, being unengaged. And then for the teacher too, the teacher stands in front of the room and says, why don't they like listening to me? And it turns out that that's not the teacher's fault. It's just the way learning is. And the more that you can set up what I like to call a studio classroom, where we're all working, and I talk less, everybody's happier. The teacher's happy, the students are happy. So it's a combination of both pieces, a better day for teachers and better day for students. And since most of the world is based on the Victorian model of education, which is I will talk to you people and you will write notes, and then on Friday we'll see if you can remember, nearly the whole world is ready for a new style of teaching. Perfect.
So when you had to come to Brazil, there was a call and you said yes. Perfect.
I have no problem.
Now, and there is one thing that I know that is really important to you. I know that the first thing is the student for you, but then the teacher as well. You're really worried about the workload of the teacher. So what is your concept of working smarter? What challenges do teachers face that you are trying to tap into and help them out?
Well, having been in a classroom for almost 25 years, I know the two main problems that teachers struggle with. One is lesson planning. I spend my whole day Sunday making PowerPoints, making slides, finding lessons in the United States going on Teachers Pay Teachers. I hope they don't have that in Brazil.
We don't.
No,
good.
we don't.
It's just hundreds of millions of worksheets. So teachers spend nights and weekends lesson planning.
That's it.
Then they give out all the work, and then they collect it, and then they spend nights and weekends correcting.
Yes.
And the kids don't even look. The things that I write, they don't even look at them. I find their papers on the ground. I find their papers in the desk. I find it in their backpack.
Kids
in 25 years, the number. Right. How many kids have ever raised their hand in my class and said, hey, what did you mean by this remark? None. So remember we talked about the frames. Imagine if, for vocabulary, we have one quiz that I use from Quizzes or Blooket. 10 minutes a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What's my planning? Nearly nothing. And then the test is simply to take the same thing with no help. And so now how long does it take to score them? Well, almost everybody has an A by now. So I can go like this. A fill down, except for Carla. She didn't study enough.
I was a good student. I was terrible, but a good student.
So the lesson frames allow us to build lessons very quickly, and the students already know what the work product is.
Yeah.
So I'm not constantly explaining what the task is. So when we move into thin slides, cyber sandwich, Iron Chef, the planning is just as easy. All I have to do is find a link from my adopted material, my textbook, or I can go to a good webpage, National Geographic, something like that, even Wikipedia. There's everything you need to know about mitosis. Now do an Iron Chef. And the kids already know what the Iron Chef piece is. So I can literally plan my whole week in about 15 minutes because I go like this. Wednesday, Iron Chef. Thursday, Iron Chef. Tuesday, Cyber Sandwich. Copy the slides. Doesn't matter if it's Google or PowerPoint.
Okay.
Add the link to the content. Boom, we're out of there. So the two main things that I think wear teachers down are lots of grading. That's over. Number two, lesson planning. And that's over. And the best part is, do you guys remember the airline called TWA?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
While the kids are working, I'm walking around with a cup of coffee doing TWA teaching, which stands for teach while walking around. And now I can be out with the kids, not stuck at my screen or behind my computer. And I'm preventing failure. How do you think that affects students' self-image? Because I'm going for perfect repetitions and real-time feedback. And we're tolerant of failure. So if kids are having problems with a thing on Monday, Tuesday they'll get a mini lesson to eliminate that. And by Thursday, the error is gone.
You know, that's why I love him. That's why I love you, because that was one of our biggest challenge. Yes, prepare and grade, and you are thinking about it when you write the protocols. That's why we love you.
Yep.
And that's why we're bringing it to Brazil.
So as we've teased thin slides a little bit, but this is how easy it is. Every student does one slide, one picture, one word, 3 minutes, and then everybody gets feedback. 5 minutes lesson is done, everybody has a grade.
It's easy when he says yes, but it wasn't easy when you were thinking about it. Because
No, and I think this is the genius.
No, it took years.
This is the genius part of the Eduprotocols. When I first read the books, I was like, my God, but this is so obvious. But still, it was genius that you got all
Cappuccino. Cappuccinos are obvious too, and so is picanha. It's just a chunk of cow.
Yeah, but that's...
You got to get the right part.
Yes, that's it. Like, it is obvious what you do in Eduprotocols. We do that already in the classroom, but we haven't structured that as frameworks that can really systematize teaching and learning in a different model.
Yeah.
And I think that's,
that's the way I would put it is...
I was really, John, I was really, really impressed. The first time I read the book, I was like, my God, this is so genius and so simple. And then I met you at Merit. You were a keynote speaker at Merit.
Right.
And then I was like, my God, we have a wonderful book with everything ready, with the protocols ready, with the templates ready for us to use. And then we meet John and Marlena, and then we said, oh my God, we need to bring this to Brazil.
That's true, that's true.
Okay. I think one of the things teachers keep trying to do is they keep trying to fix the Victorian model.
Yeah.
So before you guys know anything, I have to talk for 20 minutes. Well, after 7 minutes, you're done. So now I've wasted all that time. And then I hand you a worksheet to prove that you listened, but you haven't actually done anything.
Yeah.
Right? And so it would be like if you wanted to be in a gardening club, at some point you would garden. You wouldn't do worksheets about gardening. You would garden. And that's what we miss in teaching is we're all up here in theory. Talk and test, talk and test. But the kids don't actually do any work. So then we're surprised when they don't know how to do work.
True.
And you're right, it is simple. Coffee's not that big a deal. You grind up some beans, you add a little cream, you're good. But a black coffee or a coffee with cream is not the same as a mochaccino.
It's different.
So you got to look at it in a new way. Coffee has now evolved into a full-blown dessert.
True.
Right? You can have a dessert coffee, which would have, our mom and dad would have never thought of that while they were drinking their U-Ban and their Folgers.
Yes, true. Well, we've mentioned that the Eduprotocols is really easy to implement in the classroom in very simple and easy ways. You can start big, you can start really small. But I wonder if it works in all kinds of teaching settings, like face-to-face, because I know that probably you've started with the face-to-face classes. And then now we have all kinds of hybrid situations, remote, online, everything that we can dream of now, all together. Do the Eduprotocols work in flexible settings?
I will use an example. If you were in my class for 3 weeks and then you had to go home and learn from home, would you still know how to do a Venn diagram?
Yes.
That's a lesson frame.
True.
So what I found last year was the school that I was in, we were in and out of distance learning 7 times in my 6th grade classroom.
Wow.
And what's beautiful about the protocols is an Iron Chef's an Iron Chef, whether you're face-to-face or not. Math reps are math reps, whether you're face-to-face or not. And then you can add in tools, I don't know if they're popular in Brazil, but Nearpod, Pear Deck, all those other kinds of tools. You can teach Eduprotocols with those tools. So you can use PowerPoint, you can use Google. In fact, I'll even go to the farthest. I've had teachers ask me this, can you do these on paper? Yep, you sure can. So a thin slide and Iron Chef still works just as good on paper.
I would like to add something because, you know, John, school year is different in Brazil. So I know you are starting school year and we are coming to the ending of the school. What would you say to Brazilian teachers, to Portuguese teachers here, because they are going to the end of the year? Could they start using Eduprotocols just right now?
Unscripted this one,
Yes.
John.
Yes,
That's a good
it's a
one.
trick
Yes, and here's why. Yes, and here's why. Will your kids be with you in the fall? Usually not. So what I do in California, we have a big end of the year test in May. What I do after that is I go mad scientist. I try all the crazy new things.
Great.
So that when it's the first day of school, I've already done these things. I don't need to test new things on the new kids. Frankly, the old kids are tired of me by May, so they don't care what we're doing. We actually, in the book, have a thing called Smart Start that's about starting your year with protocols. But when you do it at the end of the year, it is now Fantastic Finish.
Oh, that sounds great.
And the Smart
And it's
Start.
time. It's like a mini boot camp just for the teacher to try new things, so that when they get to school, they already know what they're going to do.
And the Smart Start, just for you guys who are watching us here in Portuguese or in English, the Smart Start is in the ebook that we are publishing here in Brazil and launching today. And it's really important that you understand what is behind, because of course we're jumping into Eduprotocols because we are here with John. But there is like a theoretical part of it. There is also like you need to understand the routines and the things that you need to do to get started, and to do it, not that there is a right way, but there is a good way to start, which is the Smart Start, right, John?
Yeah, so again, using the Venn diagram as an example. If I want my kids to be good at Venn diagrams in March, I'm going to start in September.
Great.
And the first couple of them are just for fun. Compare carnitas and carne asada. Compare hamburger versus grilled cheese. Pan or leche de dulce. Right? So you're going to just do quick things like that to get kids the skill of comparing. And once you see that they're good at comparing easy things, then you move into the academics, because there's a long-term goal of having the kids really good at 10 or 12 specific skills. And so in Smart Start, the idea is it's basically like a boot camp. Do they have a boot camp idea?
Yes,
in Brazil,
a
is that
boot camp,
a thing?
something like a training, like a fast,
So
training, very deep training.
I don't spend any time in review. I assume that my kids don't know any of the things we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I build lessons that'll work for everybody. So let's say that I'm teaching 4th grade and I'm worried, do they know long division? I'm just going to make that a boot camp. And if they surprise me by going faster than I think, I will raise the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to wait around. I've seen teachers in the United States teach the whole first quarter is review. And what you end up with in October is kids that are bored.
Mm-hmm.
And you've still got 7 months to go, and that's not pretty.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
The other example of that is based on, in the United States, what I noticed when I was teaching at the high school level is, if you're going to go to the local junior college, you get about a 3-hour orientation. There's the library, there's the cafeteria, there's a science building. Have a great year. If you go to the state university like Fresno State, you get it overnight.
Yeah.
You get to stay in the dorms overnight. And if you go to UCLA, which is what we would consider like an upper tier university, it's a 3-day experience. And if you're going to go to a private school, your summer camp could be as many as 5 or 6 days. And I thought to myself, why are they doing that? Because the more money you spend, the better care they take of you. They don't want a kid who's going to a school that's $30,000 a year to go home after the first week and say, I don't like this. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So my epiphany was, why don't I do that at school? Why is it that I read the kids the rules and take roll and then show them where chapter 1 is and then throw them out? Why don't I make the first day exciting and memorable, get to know everybody, and leave with the kids going, oh my gosh, can't wait till tomorrow. That's the way I want to start the year.
Yes, perfect. So it's all about the experience. It's all about involving the students, making it like a memorable learning experience, whatever they are learning or doing in class, right? I
Correct.
know, John, that
And
you
it's
love...
not just fun, it's also fun and academics. And most teachers tend to either do just fun or just academics. But if you look at Marzano's research, we're going to do similarities, comparing, we're going to do non-linguistic representations, we're going to do all the Marzano top 10 things the first 4 days. And then the rest of the day, we'll be able to do whatever we want.
So I know that you love all the Eduprotocols. I know
Okay,
that you are...
but
Yes.
wait, can you wait? Can you wait?
Okay.
Because people are here asking about our hashtags.
Hashtag
Let's ask.
We are using Protocolos Edu.
Protocolos Edu.
So we want to know if you were here with us just right now with me, Carla, and John from San Francisco. It's
No,
very...
it's not. He's not in San Francisco.
No, where
he's,
is he?
he's in California, not in San What is
great.
Course Gold, California. Look that up on Google Earth.
Wow. He's a very,
It's in
very
the Sierra Nevada foothills.
chic guy. Can you speak it in English?
Chic.
Chic. You are very chic.
Very chic.
So you know we
My
are
wife will be
using,
impressed to hear you think that.
we are using Protocolos Edu.
And
Yes.
Eduprotocols
And
as well.
we are using the 2 hashtags because people are just here. Oh my God, how can we talk
Yes,
about
take
it?
your photo. Tell us what you're thinking. Ask your questions. Put it online on social
and tell them
media.
to not forget free lifetime tech support. So
Yes.
if they'll text me questions or tweet me questions, I'll be glad to help them.
Oh.
John is always on Twitter.
Yeah, we need to say that.
And
yes.
he's on
Ready to
Instagram
roll.
as well. He's around.
yes.
He's around with us on Instagram. I know that he's more a Twitter guy because of in the US it's more popular. In Brazil, it's Facebook and Instagram. So he's there too.
Well, let me get going on Instagram then.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So if you have questions, John is there to answer you guys.
Okay, now you can make your question.
And also here, we are going to take some questions.
Okay.
But before we take some questions, I know that he loves all Eduprotocols, of course. But is there a favorite of yours? Or is there one that you see teachers using more frequently? Please tell
this
us
is like
the
asking
truth.
you. This is like asking your mom if you like your
Which
brothers
kid?
and sisters more.
Yes.
Which kid's your favorite?
Just the same.
I like them all. It's like going to Fogo de Chão. Which meat? All of them, please. But my favorite one we haven't talked about is random emoji power paragraph.
Oh, it's very
And so-
good, the emoji one.
Yeah. So we have a website that makes random emoji and puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. And then we'll use a tool like Socrative or Google Forms or Nearpod. And those 5 emoji build a paragraph. And the student's job is to use the first emoji for the topic. And then the last 4 emoji pursue that idea. And so they stay on topic. And kids beg to do another round. It
I
is
see.
hilarious. And if you guys have seen the hamburger paragraph, and if your students write sentences that sound like this, I am going to tell you about. You will enjoy my paragraph. I hope you like my essay. If you have kids writing that way and you're tired of it, the best way to get rid of that is the random emoji power paragraph. That one's by just a little bit. That's my favorite.
That's interesting. I wouldn't say that, but yes, the emoji one is fantastic. And well, it's not in the ebook, but we can have that as
And
an
next,
extra.
the next
And
next one.
we use that a lot at Amplifica, right?
Yes.
Before we even knew about the Eduprotocols, we used to give teachers ideas.
Carla, I have a very, very good question in our Portuguese team here. Vanessa, hi Vanessa, how are you? We already talked about it, but I think we can talk again.
Vanessa from the Amazon.
Pedagoga Vanessa Meira, is she?
Yes,
Yeah?
she's in the north
Literally
of Brazil.
from Amazon,
Yes.
not the webpage. Okay, this is my first Amazon question.
Yes.
Yes. She's worried about the use of Eduprotocols without internet connection. Because you know, John, this is a problem for us. We don't have internet connection in everywhere. But she's worried. I think she can't be worried. She needs to be worried, but it's not a preoccupation. Yeah, we need to be worried about it. So can you tell us about it? Can we use just offline Eduprotocols?
Yeah, all of them convert to offline. So what I would do, for example, on a thin slide, I might print up 12 or 15 pictures for the kids to pick from and say, draw me which one of these is the rain cycle. Draw me which one of these is an insect that has all the parts labeled correctly. So all I'm going to do is get on my internet, maybe at home, and preload the work for the kids. The Iron Chef is just a jigsaw. So if you've ever done a jigsaw lesson, you can do Iron Chef style jigsaw. Thin slide study guide, same idea. You can look up your definitions in the book and then do them on paper. Cyber Sandwich works great on paper. Find a couple of articles from the textbook, print them out, or have them on your local server. It's still note-taking and writing in paragraph.
Great.
So you don't have to be one-to-one or have a lot of internet for this to work, because they're all pedagogically sound. They're not driven by tech. Tech just gives you more options.
Yes, and well, I wanted to mention, and I think, well, as John mentioned here, probably we should show them, even to Vanessa.
Yes, she's gonna love it. Did you hear, Vanessa? I wanna know right here for me. Did you hear we can use everything
Yeah,
offline?
but I want to show.
In fact,
let
math
me
reps-
tell you, amplifica.me,
Yes.
protocols.
In my classroom,
yes,
I only
I
do
know.
math reps. In my classroom, I only do math reps on paper,
Oh,
even
you
if I
see?
have internet.
The math
So it works out great.
Diego, pode mostrar minha tela? Can you show my screen? So at the end, we are going to show you in detail, but I wanted to show you this page here, Vanessa, that you can download the photocopies
Everything.
here. We have the models here already for printing. So we have them in Google Slides here that you can just copy the model for you. And down here, we have it ready for printing. So that's your case. So we considered everything, well, John and Marlena did, and now we are doing
And to
the same
Vanessa's
for you.
point, you guys, while I live in California, which is the home of Google and Apple, as you can see, I live in a very rural area.
Yeah.
Our internet is not fast.
Uh-huh.
And we built all of these in areas that had bad internet. And so we know what it's like to have a backup plan.
Great, great. She's saying you're getting your first answer from Amazon.
Yes.
She's saying yes, and she's very excited.
Hashtag the Amazon.
Thank you.
Vanessa is a wonderful GEG leader here in Brazil, and she does a wonderful job in the north of Brazil. It's just amazing what she does with very little infrastructure. It's amazing. Vanessa, great to have you here.
Tell her to keep my email address. I'll work with her.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You see, Vanessa?
And with
In fact,
her students,
I have
she's
one more
doing a great
upgrade, though.
job.
I'm not done yet. If you look up Rocket Books, have you guys ever heard of Rocket Books?
No.
No.
So a Rocket Book is a way that you can draw on paper and it maps it, and there's a QR code. You can take a picture with your phone and it dumps it right into your Google Drive.
Wow, great.
And we have templates for those that are free.
Wow, we are gonna post it for you, Vanessa,
yes.
especially for you. Okay, but now I want to go to, well, John has already mentioned the concept of thin slides. Let's
Yes.
show an example.
Okay.
Like a practical example of what he means.
I love it.
Yes, by thin, I do too. I think it's
Oh,
just,
by the way, I could tell how cool you two were by all the stickers on your laptops.
oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, some I got there in California, right?
Yeah.
I'll send you some Eduprotocol stickers.
Yes, I
we
was
want.
thinking about that we need some Eduprotocols stickers. I was thinking about that as I was coming here. So I'd like now, John, for us to focus a little bit on a practical and for teachers to visualize what we are talking about. So then, what if we show them the thin slides concept?
Sounds great.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit more about how to work with that?
So basically, I make a blank slide deck that all of my students are going to work in. So if I have 30 kids, there are 30 slides. The first step is everybody puts their name. I like to put claim this slide. And this is actually a good thing to get kids collaborating. If they're deleting each other's slides and things, there's a teachable moment to help them understand that we're going to work together. And then all I have to do is simply say, today's word is parallel. Or I want to see 6 types of volcanoes. Or what is a slip strike earthquake fault? Or what is Mount Vesuvius? Instead of doing lectura, I have the kids use the Google Images. Each student now finds one picture, and they put the word that's associated with the picture. And then when they're done, each student has 4 seconds to make a claim or an observation about what they found. And if you guys have heard of a KWL activity, what do you know? What do you want to learn? What do you learn? What I found from being in the classroom is that doesn't actually work because the kids don't know anything what we're talking about. But if you say to them, I wonder what molarity is, and they look that up on Google Images, now they're doing the learning. And only 3 minutes later, because it's only one slide and one word, I'll be giving them immediate feedback.
Great.
And it goes like this. Good slide, good slide, good slide, good slide, good slide. Nice job, good job. grading's over.
Wow.
Perfect.
Tomorrow we do it again, but I do the next word in the sequence. So tomorrow it might be addle or stone axe, or I'm trying to think of some African things. Afar triangle. Dr. Lewis Leakey. I don't have to tell them what that is. Our kids are used to finding things on the internet on their own. I help them make it academic.
I see. So it's a very simple framework that you have one slide, one word, and one image, and that's it. But then what I found is that, of course, teachers are always creative. So I was checking online on your Twitter feed, yes, the Eduprotocols. If you just look for hashtag thin slides, you're going to see everything related to thin slides and many examples from teachers.
And just remembering that you can do this offline with a piece of paper, magazines, newspaper.
Yes.
Yes. Books.
Textbooks.
Textbooks. Yes. It works fine.
Imagine textbooks.
Yes. Just remember the offline option, yes?
Yes.
This is an
And then,
online
like I
option,
said,
yes.
I can even go, if you want to raise it the level, I can get 10 or 12 pictures, print them out,
Yeah.
and 3 of them are wrong.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So the kids have to make a careful choice.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it's true. And then what I found, John, for example, there is this great example. Diego, if you can show the slides there. Diego's slides.
Where are you, Diego? Are you here?
Diego's like, don't talk to me right now.
And we're speaking English to him. Okay. Diego, how happy are you today? And then I found this idea from Stacy Young on the Twitter
Oh,
feed.
Stacy's amazing.
Yes. And what she did was not the same way as you did, because you chose the
Which is
word
okay.
for the kids, yes?
Mm-hmm.
You chose the word.
Yep.
So this was your first idea. But Stacy, she did the
Had them.
opposite. She had them study. Oh, she had the direction. So if you look at my screen here, she had all the directions for the kids, the resources that they should focus on, and then they were studying life in ancient India. So they were studying like religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. And then what they did was they needed to, browse around, find information, and then they should choose one slide, one photo, and one word that represented those religions. And then she went on, John. She went on because what she asked, because generally you ask them to present, right? What their rationale was for their choice. What she did, and I'm sure she must have had some time for presentation, but something that I found it really she really went into deeper learning is the fact that she asked the students to write in the presentation notes, the presenter's notes,
Speaker notes,
the speaker's notes, why they chose that image and the word. So only by doing that, they are writing a paragraph, they are comparing, they are, having some synthesis there, all kinds of skills.
Don't
that
forget
we want our
creativity.
kids. Yes,
Creativity,
all
yes.
kinds of skills that we want our kids to develop on their own. Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought.
Well, and one more thing that we haven't talked about is that protocols do not replace your curriculum.
Of course.
You keep your curriculum. But now you have better activities. So if you're a teacher that says, hey, we got to do this, but man, these activities are not good, just slide in some Eduprotocols. You have higher quality activities, and you still have your teacher's edition.
Yes.
And I think it's great that you change the perception of the students, because now they are going to do something, and we are lecturing, they are doing just listening.
Yeah.
So I think we
And
change
if they and here's the best
mindset
part.
of the student.
Yeah, if they mess it up, it only took 10 minutes. We just do it
Yeah.
again tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah,
So I haven't put an hour into this, an hour and a half.
yeah.
You get more time.
And also the fact that learning really becomes visible to all students because they have the slide deck, so they can check
Right.
each other's
Yeah.
word. And the interesting thing there, John, if you check the slides, there isn't any word that is similar to the other. So
Yep.
each student
I found the
got a
same thing when
different-
kids use the whole internet. There's this variety and creativity. I rarely have kids use the same picture twice. They're actually looking at the other kids' slides to make sure that they don't have the same picture as anybody. That's a
Perfect.
powerful thing.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Well, and I was thinking, if I had to make a thin slide for today, I would have this.
Oh, celebrating.
I love it.
Celebrating.
This is our world.
And I don't think I need to explain it because we've been doing that for the whole time.
Yes.
But this is our thin slide for the day, yeah? So then, we are not finishing. Well, we are about to finish.
But we have two questions. Two questions, Carla.
Yes, today I'm really serious about
Only two,
time.
Carla. Only two.
Only two. Only two.
She warned me about
A
you.
full hand.
But it's a good one. This one,
Yes.
it's a good one.
So then I'd like to ask you there, the ones who are listening to us here.
they want the
Yeah.
print copy.
Oh, they
Yes.
already have that. But I want to know what is like frying in your minds. Like, what are the questions that you have that you want
Burning
to ask
questions.
John? Yes, throw questions there. Let's see.
Let's see. Okay.
Oh,
let's see.
they're making lots of comments here, and
They're asking for the print copy. There's a
okay,
lot of
okay.
comments about print copy. We're gonna
okay.
have it. We're gonna have
Make
it.
that
you're
happen.
gonna have everything. Now, what kind of questions do you have?
Oh, PH is talking about teachers training. He wants to use Eduprotocols in teachers training.
Yes, and this is something.
That's
well,
perfect for that. Perfect for that.
PH is a facilitator at Amplifica.
Amplifica, yes.
PH, we are gonna train you to do that.
Yes.
So imagine if you guys are veteran teachers, how much easier would your first year of teaching been if you knew 10 protocols the first day of school?
Wow.
It would be perfect.
Oh, it would
my
be
my
perfect.
my first
And then
year
watch this.
I used
If
to
you're
carry.
teaching pre-service teachers, imagine starting off like this. Let's do a thin slide on social emotional learning. Go. Let's do an Iron Chef on student depression. Let's do a cyber sandwich on modifying work for students. And now you're learning the pedagogy. All we've done is put in stuff that pre-service teachers need instead of English or math. And now when you graduate from your program, you know the pedagogy, you just apply your grade level.
Yeah.
It's hugely powerful and so much easier.
Yeah, it's true. It would have made my life much easier because I remember the main thing when I started teaching was that I felt really insecure about teaching. So I had many worksheets, like tons of worksheets, because
Right.
I thought I needed to provide things, content to kids all the time. If I knew Eduprotocols then, I would have started with a different mindset. And then
Right.
I would make students work as I did many years later when I realized that students should work harder than I did. And if I was working harder than they did, there was something wrong. And we always say that, yes, Samara?
Of course.
And think about it this way too, from a brain science perspective. When you're constantly asking students to learn how to do a new worksheet, you're not seeing their best work because they're dealing with format, not content. And one of my favorite things about the protocols is once they know how to do the protocol, their mind is all about content because they know how to produce the work.
Yeah.
And an example of that is because I like to cook. If I'm cooking in somebody else's kitchen, oh, the forks are over there. Where are your tongs? Where are the big pots?
Yeah.
That cognitive load slows me down, and it makes me more likely to make an error. What's great about protocols is you say this, let's do a cyber sandwich. Everybody knows what the work is. What's it about? Octopus. Here we go. And then their brain is on the learning, not on the format of the worksheet.
Yes, this is perfect. And
do we have time for the content? Because sometimes we don't
Yes,
have. And
we're constantly
this
teaching
make
them how to
time
do the
for
worksheet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wanted also to mention that the fact that we have all structure there, like the templates, everything is there for you.
You know the secrets.
It's a ready-to-go kit.
Yes, this is the secrets of teaching because when you're talking about teaching and you need to ask to another teacher, how do you teach electricity? Sometimes they don't like to say, but John and Marlena, they tell us
we love to say.
the secrets they use.
All the secret ingredients.
Yes.
And then there is one thing I wanted to mention. If you are asking yourself, like, what Cyber Sandwich is, what Iron Chef is, what many other protocols that we didn't talk about today, don't worry. We will have time. You'll get to our house and get comfortable with the cooking. And then we are going to marinate a bit. And then you are going to learn. Yes. And then because that's it. We need some time to take in all this information. And then, of course, you are going to be experts in Eduprotocols and how to implement them in the best way you can in your classroom.
That's true.
So we are
and a
getting
question
to
I
the
get a
end.
lot is, where should I start? And I always tell people, pick one that looks fun. Do that for 2 or 3 weeks. Get really good at one.
Okay.
Then add one. Now you're good at 2. And same thing. And within a year, you'll know 9 or 10. And that's plenty.
It's
Yeah,
perfect.
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Wow.
Well, it's our big launch in Brazil of the Eduprotocols. We are super happy. We worked really hard, and John kept sending us emails. Do you need any help? Let's move on. And here we are today. We are super happy with this partnership with John and Marlena. Dave Berg is consulting, so they are also responsible for us to have the opportunity to have translated the Eduprotocols in Brazil. And we are proud to announce the launch of the first Eduprotocol ebook with 5 Eduprotocols selected by John and Marlena to introduce the whole idea, the concepts, and the templates, all there for you in Portuguese for all educators in Brazil and for sure, educators in Portuguese-speaking
I heard
countries.
Mozambique earlier.
Mozambique, Portugal.
Why stop there?
Yes. And we would really like to thank you, John and Marlena, for being here with us. Also, a great shout out to Pipa, Carla Vidal, and Guto, our partner in the whole editing process until it got to Amazon. Sora, maybe we should show their faces. Diego, the slides.
It's so beautiful too. I think you guys did such a great job.
Yeah.
I think yours is prettier than ours.
So you have to hire Carla Vidal.
It's a Brazilian taste,
It's
the
Brazilian
Okay,
flavor.
I like it.
It's our flavor. You have to talk to Carla Vidal and Pipa.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
And then we would like to thank Sora Lacerda, who translated it to Portuguese.
Thank you, Sora.
Cris Imperador, who revised everything. Itamara, who adapted the 8 part into 10 part, because in Portuguese it's a 10-part thing.
She did a great
I
job.
love it.
A wonderful
Thank you.
job. And then we have these trio there
Yes.
that were the ones responsible for us sending the first email to John Corripo asking if he wanted to bring the Eduprotocols to Brazil. So thank you, Estevam. Thank you, Gi. Thank you, Clá. Thank you for always being here with us.
They told us we could talk to John. Yes.
Yes.
You can
Why-
go there.
why
I'm just in person.
Not.
Why not? Just send an email. That's it.
Just send me an email.
Send an email.
But it's important that someone believes in the same thing that
Yes.
you believe. Yes,
Yes,
it's important.
it's true.
It's a
Yeah.
dream.
So now I want you to head to Amazon to purchase your Eduprotocols ebook. And it's very accessible in terms of price. We did it very low, like for you to get it, to purchase your ebook, to use them in your next class. Read the guidelines.
When you buy the book, you're gonna get the templates in Portuguese to use in your classroom. Just right there in Portuguese, Carla. Everything to do.
in Portuguese. Here's the link, and if somebody can help me in the chat to write the link, we have
me see.
amplifica.me
Oh, we got it. Okay, they got it.
/protocolosedu. There you are gonna have the ebook and the templates that you wanted, even the ones that you wanted to print. Yeah?
Yeah.
So thank you for being here today, and let's keep the conversation going. Once you start using the Eduprotocols in your classroom, remember to tag us, Protocolos Edu, Eduprotocols, hashtag no, at
That.
Amplifica Oficial, at Eduprotocols. John,
It was a pleasure to be here with you, John.
The more I talk to you two, the more I fall in love with Brazil.
oh, thank you,
you.
John, and we'll have to do it another
welcome.
time with Marlena together with us.
Definitely.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See
Bye-bye.
you, people. Thank you. See you next time.